Good afternoon. In New York time, it's afternoon, and the Pacific Standard Time where I am, it's 9:37 a.m. on a Friday. And basically, this is a Dow chart that happens to be up here. And basically, it's a bear market reversal. But bear markets don't start again unless there's reasons behind it. I'm going to talk a little bit about the economy, and I'm going to talk a little bit about what the problems are in the U.S., okay, as an overview. Now, if you want to get really up to date, you can always visit us at www.stockmarketfunding.com. You can call us at 702-685-0772. How should you be managing your IRA, your 401k, or how should you be managing your assets right now? And you have a right to be able to take advantage of it. And you also have a right to understand what's going on. I'm just going to give the brief overview. So the unemployment number comes out at 9.7% this morning. People don't believe that number. Otherwise, the Dow wouldn't have been down 80 points and we wouldn't be below 10,000. Okay? Now, the thing that's going on here is that our federal government, you take a look at the IRS, for example. If the IRS is collecting from the U.S. citizens roughly right around $2.4 trillion, but if they're spending $2 more, that means we're spending almost 1.5 to 2 times more that taxable revenue is coming in from the government. And that's a very big problem looking forward in 2010, 2011, 2012. So if the federal government is bringing in less tax dollars at very severe lows and spending a lot more like the Obama administration with all of these wacky policies, that's not good for the market. Number two, the Chinese and Japan have bought the U.S. debt, and we're about to go into an economic turbulence with the Chinese, and they're going to slow their economy down. And the problem that we have is who's going to buy the debt. And what would happen if China says, hey, I want to sell all those treasuries we bought. So basically, outside of Japan over many years buying it, and Chinese have bought it, and we're taking less money in, the Internal Revenue Service is bringing in less dollars, and those lows are very low levels, like back in the 1920s in the Great Depression. Now, when you take a look at Geithner in the U.S. Treasury, and you take a look at the FDIC, and we have Bernanke in the Federal Reserve, we've added all these stimulances that have not changed small businesses. The problem that the U.S. is going to have is that temporary employment is not sustainable. Yeah, it makes the number look good. Sure, it gives the politicians some hope about getting reelected in this coming November. But let me tell you something. There is a great deal of uncertainty this year because the uncertainty is going to come from who can you believe and who you cannot believe. Well, when we've done the math, simple math, and we take a look at where state income tax revenue for each state is way down, these are not good things in the U.S. Now, how are you going to stimulate the small business and the worker? I believe that we will probably hit somewhere around 11% on unemployment. Yeah, hey. If you want to believe that 9.7% today, Friday, 2010 number, no. Where did the number come from? Well, if you put back enough temporary employment, you can change those numbers just like you can change the GDP because it was bought with money, borrowed money that we shouldn't be doing. And the thing about it is, sustainable forward-looking economic recoveries are not sustainable for one reason. Because you're putting that much more debt to buy those numbers and to buy that productivity when it should be that the U.S. should be putting back jobs in America and stop putting those, bring all the jobs back to America. Let's start there. And let's start manufacturing here. And the other thing that's not good is that taxable revenue increases are not good. Because, you see, we are in such a turmoil, and not we as people, but your government is. And what that really means is that you can't tax in a recessionary environment, low growth environment, because you're going to tax growth, where growth becomes lower, but it also becomes very stagnated growth. So there are lots of subjects that are tied in here.